Hello everyone, we're back after a very long absence, which I actually feel I should talk a little about before we play today. Yeah, I've been gone for a really long time, and the reason being is that I've just gotten really burned out on KSP. Um, I don't know, there's only so much you can do, and what with the long times between updates and just a whole bunch of other stuff, it's kind of worn out for me. So I asked a friend recently whether I should or what I should do, some sort of like missions, and he came up with the idea for a solar mission, and so I did that, or I'm going to do that in this video, and I'm have some future plans. But also that brings me to one more topic. I would like all of you, well, not all of you, I can't do all of you, but I would like you guys to give me some ideas in the comments for cool missions that I haven't done yet, or maybe expansions on missions that I have done in the past and have shown you. Let's see. Probably not going to do any more Moonbase, at least for a while, until more content arrives, specifically resources, because I feel like it's pretty pointless without resources. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to show you what I have put into orbit and assembled there, called the Solaris Probe. And as you will notice, I have installed quite a few mods, which was kind of an attempt on my part to make the game a little more interesting. So let's time warp a little here so you can see. You can already see like the city lights, and I will probably put a link in the description to all the mods that I've used. Nothing actually game-changing, except for possibly the installation of the Procedural Fairings mod, but that's really just because I like putting a little realism into it. Not that it actually does anything, because I don't use FAR, but I don't know, it just feels more real to me. So anyway, this is the Solaris Probe, which has some pretty good capabilities. It can turn on a dime, a lot of power generation. I think it looks pretty nice, and it can be repurposed, which I'm going to talk about. This mission that I have is actually pretty freeform. As you can see, I have a node set in about 2 days, and that will catapult us out and swing us by the moon on the way out, giving us a little bit of a gravity boost, which is going to be necessary because getting to the sun is kind of hard. You need a lot of delta V. So anyway, that's the mission we have set up, and maybe when we get underway I can talk about what we have in plans for the future for this particular vessel. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, and we are about 15 seconds away from the burn that will take us out of Kerbal orbit, take us by the moon, and send us into solar orbit. After that, we will begin deorbiting towards the sun, and it's time to go. Like I said, you'll notice a lot of the things are different, such as the engine sprites, or not sprites, the engine effects and sounds, and I will put all of that in the description for you guys. Honestly, I can't remember it because I installed quite a bit, so it'll be a big list. I will check in with you guys again once we are out of this burn, which will take a while. Alright, and here we are, flying away from Kerbal, never to return, as it is unmanned and there's no reason to bring it back, which actually brings me to my next thought about what to do with this. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to send it out, have it come down, rendezvous, or not rendezvous, but very low solar orbit so that it gets very close, and then burn at here so it can come back out, but not all the way, maybe hit Eve, and park it around Gilly, and that will be the base, kind of the core module for a station that I've been wanting to build. Ever since I sent the station to Duna, Dawn Station, and also the base, I've wanted to do something similar on Eve, or rather Gilly. I wouldn't touch Eve. I don't want to land there, because I'd like anything that's not unmanned to come back alive, and that's not happening on Eve. And I'm also just too lazy to make a giant Eve escape vehicle. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm not actually sure how much content this video will have, honestly, but you know, I've been meaning to make one for a decent amount of time. So I hope you guys end up enjoying this video, and I should probably just stop rambling, and I'll see you guys again when it's time to burn to go down to low solar orbit. It hasn't been much time yet. I haven't even passed the moon, but that's because I decided that the most efficient maneuver would be burning at the closest point to the moon. So we're going to do that, and that will bring us down into a very low solar orbit. What does that say? 400 million meters, which is pretty close if you can see it. I don't think we need to go too close, but that'll fit the terms of this mission, and it should leave us enough fuel left over to transfer to Eve and get stationed around Gilly, no pun intended. I guess future videos will just be consisting of sending more parts to build around Gilly. One thing I like about Gilly is that obviously it's very small. It has a tiny gravitational pull for those of you who've been... Oh, I did not mean to switch to that. Oh well, yeah, this is a satellite I have orbiting Gilly, but yeah, this will serve the purpose. For those of you who've been there, you know that it has an almost non-existent gravitational field. So it's very easy to land and take off, and I think I made a video about it a long time ago. But that was a long time ago, mind you. Most of you weren't even subscribed to me then. So yeah, I'll probably just put some sort of lander on there that's ion powered, because you don't need anything else. So that'll last a good long while. Anyway, getting back to the real craft, I will see you after the burn is complete, which will take a long time. Alright, and we are rapidly leaving the Kerbal system behind in search of that big, you know, glowy thing in the sky. Hopefully we will learn some interesting things about it. We are incredibly close to it, and possibly burning up the ship. So we'll see you then, I suppose, when we get closer. Alright, and here we are at our closest approach to the Sun. So I plotted out a maneuver, and it's going to require that we go around once more, another orbit, and then we'll do a small burn that will take us into Eve's soy. So that's pretty cool, and then from there we'll probably do some aero braking and put us on a course to Gilly, and then we'll get an orbit around there, which shouldn't be too difficult. So I'll see you when it's time for the second burn. Also, I'll collect some science while I'm here, although it doesn't actually do anything, considering this is not career mode. Oh well, it's fun. Alright, and we're beginning our burn now. And this should take us into Eve pretty quickly here, so we'll see when we get to that encounter. Okay, so as you can see, there's Eve off in the distance there, and I've prepared a nice little trajectory to bring us in for an aerobrake. Now, I'm not actually sure of the proper aerobraking altitude, but, you know, I'm hoping this will go well. I looked up a few things, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with Eve, mostly because it's, like, you know, it's the closest analog to hell there is in the KSP universe. As you can see, I already have two things here, a probe on the ground and an orbiter, and then there's an orbiter around Gilly, too. So this will be the second thing orbiting Gilly, or a permanent thing, that is. Yeah, so let's see how this aerobrake works. Alright, here we are, just about to pass behind Eve, so we're going to retract the solar panels as they're no longer needed, and also they will be ripped off by the atmosphere if we do not. And we're going to need those for the station that I'm planning to build, because I don't plan to bring any new solar panels, because I don't think we're going to need them. We're pretty close to the sun anyway. But we will be aerobraking at about an altitude of about 50,000 meters, which, for those of you who know Eve well, might seem very low and think I'm going to crash, but actually we're just going so fast that that's what we need to, that's the altitude we need to do it. So we're going to watch this aerobraking, which should be pretty cool. I've never actually seen the Eve aerobraking or reentry effects, considering last time I went to Eve they didn't actually exist. So it shows you how long it's been since I visited Eve, and goes the sun. There we go. And we're going to be entering in just a minute here. Won't take long at all. And there we go, we're in the atmosphere. And it'll start any second now. Oh, there we go, already. Wow. That's pretty impressive. It's things like this that makes me want to install the Deadly Reentry mod, but I'm kind of a baby. I'm too much of a baby to install it. Honestly, it probably wouldn't actually bother me too much, but I've just seen a lot of stuff people post, and it looks just kind of scary. Alright, we should be getting... Yep, here we go. Vertical. I see sort of a sunrise forming here. Just keeps going and going, doesn't it? It's starting to die off. There we go, that slowed us down quite a bit. Yep, that's about just about what we need. And we are out of the atmosphere. Cool. That means it's about time to re-extend the panels. And I will do a transfer from here, and I will meet you when we are at Gilly. So, not long now. Alright, and as you can see, we are here and just about ready to do our last burn that will put us into a nice orbit pretty close to the thing. I don't know, there's something fun about orbiting really close to Gilly. If you've never been, I strongly recommend trying to go. It's one of the easiest extra planetary, or the extra Kerbal bodies to get to and land on because of the absolutely minuscule amount of gravity. You'll see I'm thinking about trying to land these boosters that I've been using to detach them and land them on the surface with just whatever tiny amount of fuel we have left after this, just for fun, to show how tiny the gravity is. Anyway, got a few seconds before the burn. You can see we're moving across it quite quickly, and we're only moving at about 400 meters per second. that should do it. Yep, it's not exactly the way it was planned out, but that'll be good. I can probably adjust it a little bit later. But, well, there we go. Mission accomplished, or at least this phase. Plan to do a little more, but you know what, just for fun, why don't we try deorbiting the thing. Let's take all the extra monopropellant we have, put it in here, because I mean, why not? Might as well. Look at that. Stable orbital velocity of 17 meters per second. Yeah, I'm not going to need any sort of complicated lander for this. I'll probably just use ions. That'll be cool, right? Anyway, so control from here. Dock. And undock. Now we are in control, so let's just move. Oh, wrong way, this way. Here we go. Let's start moving. Down to about 1 meter per second of orbital velocity. And we'll just go straight down. Maybe we could make this thing some sort of like emergency fuel cache on the planet. I did a similar thing with Midness. Now it's time to just ever so slowly come down. A lot of times I'll actually accelerate towards the planet because I just get so bored of waiting for gravity to take its course. Oh, and here's the worst part. After about 8,000 meters, you can't actually accelerate anymore. Or you can't actually time accelerate anymore, which just makes it utterly interminable. Come on, let's go faster. Any day now. Okay, rocks are starting to pop in. Down at a nice, respectable rate. And dink. Look at this, that's like almost weightless. Ooh, nice view here. Alright, come on. Stop being a ham, let's just go down. Okay, that should be good, and we will just leave it here. We'll probably come back and rename it later, but yep, and I will do the other one probably off camera. But yep, So the voyage of the Solaris Probe is complete, and now begins the story of, I guess we'll call it Solaris Station. It's not very imaginative, but you know, what are you going to do? Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope that it wasn't too boring for you. Once again, I apologize for our very erratic programming schedule. But, you know, what are you going to do? I'd make promises like, oh, I'll upload more often, but we all know that it won't work that way. Okay, just get one last shot of this thing before we end the video. Alright, and that does it, guys. See you next time.